One of the cool new things going on at MTSU is the MtEngage program. I'll put a link up here or over here or somewhere so you can learn more about it. This is a program that's designed to encourage faculty, to encourage students to engage with the course material in a slightly different way. This course that you're taking, Ag Economics, is a certified MtEngage course. As a part of that, there's going to be a special assignment, the MtEngage signature assignment. I call the assignment Economics in the Media. And your job is to go out into the world and look for examples of things you're learning about in class playing out in social media. Now, you don't have to restrict yourself to social media. You can look anywhere in the world. You can look at other classes. You can look at real life experiences. It's just sometimes easier to capture things on social media because there's always someone saying or doing something on Facebook or YouTube or wherever. Let's talk about the grading for the assignment. I'm going to be doing an all or nothing grading for the assignment. And that sounds unpleasant to most students, but understand how we're going to do this and how the process is going to work. My goal is for us to have a communication process where you come up with a topic, a concept, an idea, and then you communicate that to me, and in that process demonstrate to me that you understand something about economics. So, for example, you're on Facebook and a friend on Facebook who's never had an economics class says something that's kind of absurd to someone who understands economics, and you don't have to correct them right there on Facebook, but you can take a screenshot of that and blur out the names and stuff like that, and you can put together some PowerPoint slides and then explain to me what they said and why it was wrong. That's something you could do. There you go. You might see something on Twitter or something on YouTube. The topics are wide open. It's up to you to find the topic and pick the topic. I'll come up with some examples as I'm able, but I don't want to give you too many examples because I don't want to pick all the topics and I don't want you to mimic what I'm doing in my examples. So what you'll do is you'll find a topic and you will communicate that to me, and you're open to communicate in any way that you want outside of like a classroom participation, because I don't typically have time for presentations in my on-ground classes and they don't really work well in online classes. So if you want to do something like this and do like the selfie cam and record a video and share that video, you can do that. Video is easy these days. Everyone's got a camera on a cell phone sitting in their pocket, and most of these cell phones come out of the box with some kind of editing software. If you're using an Apple product, I promise you, you have the tools to edit audio and video files right there. You can even fire up GarageBand and lay down some sick beats on top of your project, right? Whatever you want to do. So you communicate to me in whatever format that you prefer. And your job is to simply observe, and when you see something you think might be relevant for an economics class, you share it with me. And then we start a back and forth conversation where you share the topic with me instead of me give you a million examples. And I'll give you some feedback on, maybe look at this, maybe consider that. Here's a concept you should read about. I might send you a couple of links. And then you and I together will kind of dig into a topic. And my intention here is for us to get beyond that surface level stuff that we really only do in your first economics course. We've just scratched the surface. There's so much awesome stuff in economics and so many really great and cool things that we could talk about, but we just don't have time in the course of a regular semester. So the grading process, again, really straightforward. You present it to me, upload a file to the Dropbox, stick a video on YouTube. If you've got a Gmail account, you have a YouTube account. You might not realize that. It's crazy easy to upload something to YouTube. You upload it to YouTube, you give me a link to that, I watch it, and I tell you, if I think you're on the right track or not. And if you're on the wrong track, that's not really criticism. That's just saying, hey, let's make a few changes, let's try something different, let's go in a different direction. And then you take that feedback, you incorporate the feedback, you redo the assignment, you hand it back to me, and if we need to carry on the conversation more, we do. The logic here is that I want to reward the conversation and the back and forth, because no one's gonna do it right the first try. Everyone's got to do at least 2 tries. A few students get it right on the first try. Most students have it right by the second. In a classroom full of 30 students, I might have 3 that need a 3rd try. most people kind of get this really quick because they see it and they get interested and they get excited and they MT engage in it, right? That's the idea. Again, topics are wide open. If you think it's related to economics, you can bring it up as a topic. Look for funny things on the web. That's always a good idea. Look for interesting YouTube videos. That's always a good idea. Look for your other classes when economic concepts pop up in those classes, because they do. I promise you they do. And they do it more often than you probably realize. A few general rules of thumb. First of all, don't stress over this assignment. I've had a couple of students who just froze. They didn't like the idea of having to do something kind of outside the box. No, don't do that. Jump into it, right? Don't stress, don't freeze up over it. The second thing is have fun. Have fun. Do something you think is fun. If you can't find something fun, well then just do something to get it done. That's okay. And the third most important thing is don't procrastinate, because we have to have enough time to have a little back and forth conversation. In my experience, virtually everybody has got this figured out within the second attempt. It's not really all that hard. I don't have high standards for, say, video editing. I mean, like my videos are professional production quality. Nowhere near it, right? Nowhere near it. My main thing is I want you to try. Communicate to me however you want. You want to write an essay? Good. Write an essay. You want to put together PowerPoint slides? Perfect. Put together PowerPoint slides. You want to draw supply and demand curves? Great. We can talk about how to draw supply and demand curves in something like PowerPoint. Really easy to do. You want to do a video that you put up on YouTube or share with me? Great. Just stick the camera in front of you and prop it up on some books, which is all I've done, and start talking, right? And have a good time with it, right? That's one of the most important things. I'm going to pop over real quick and I'm going to show you a quick example of something you could do right here.
So here is an example of something you could do for your MtEngage assignment. I was watching some YouTube one day and this video just popped up in a recommended video and I clicked on it as one does. And a few minutes in, I realized that this is the perfect example of an MtEngage assignment. So here we found somebody that is listing all of their costs, and they've broken these costs down into fixed and variable costs. Now, they didn't explicitly tell us that, but you can watch the video and you can learn that some of these things are variable costs, like the food, the tolls, the fuel, are all things that as you drive more miles and do more delivering, you spend more money, and that is the essence of what a variable cost is. Some of these things are going to be fixed costs. The cell phone bill. The cell phone bill is not going to change as you drive. Dispatching and boards and trailer and truck. I'm not sure what all these are. You'd have to go watch it all closely, but the truck payment's not going to change every month just because you drive more or less miles, so that's going to be a fixed cost. And so someone could take this and classify all these costs as fixed or variable, and they could have their MtEngage assignment up and running. They could show profit, they could show marginal revenue, they could show marginal costs. There's tons of economic concepts that you can pull off this, and it's just something I stumbled across on YouTube. So that's just one example of something you could do. The main thing is to just simply be aware of what's going on around you, and when you're engaging with media, when you're engaging in your other classes, look for these economic concepts.
Okay, that was a quick example of something you could do. Go out and find your own example. Don't be married to the example I gave you. That's not the only thing you can do. Go explore, have fun with it. There are going to be 2 due dates associated with this. There's going to be a due date for your draft, and then a few days or weeks later, depending on the class schedule. If this is a summer class, it's obviously compressed a whole lot more because we have less time. If it's a regular semester, it's going to be a little bit longer. There'll be an opportunity to get some feedback. And so just jump right into it and give it a try. You'll be fine. Just give it a shot. Don't be nervous about it. Thank you so much for listening.